its ultimate Nexus, also known as Nexus. I am William Prime, aka Nexus. This is Battle Royale, Death Battle Predictions, Single Division, where I place two of the next time on Death Battle in a 1v1 battle. See who wins in Death Battle. Like Death Battle, I place them on a versus, and like Death Battle, I place their weapons, armor, and skill to place them in a battle royale. Unlike Death Battle, unlike Death Battle, I will place them in a freaking battle royale. Who actually wins. But if they actually do get killed, it's a one game. Let's go. It's actually the Sentry versus Superboy-Prime. DC versus Marvel. The Sentry, aka Robert Bob Reynolds. He actually is late 30s, early 40s. He actually severely troubled, drug addict teen who broke into a secret laboratory looking for a fix. Instead, he consumed the golden century serum, an incredibly advanced multi-government attempt to recreate multiply the super soldier serum made by Captain America by a factor of 1,000. The serum altered the biology on a deep molecular scale, turned him into the secretary. Because of Bob's picture mental state, his subconscious split his near limitless power into two distant entities. The heroic sanctuary, a deep malevolent world ended, and the deep ended shadow personality known as the Void. The sanctuary does not have use of traditional weapons. His body is the weapon. He relies on the entire raw power, physical power. He does operate out a high tech base called the Watchtower, run by an artificial intelligence called the Clock. Central located organic computer to monitor global threats. The sanctuary is famously described as the power of a million exploded suns. His abilities, subconscious reality, and molecule manipulation. The sanctuary is strong. Just strong. He manipulate the molecules as a fundamental level. He once defeated the Molecule Man at the own game simply by realizing he could control matter. Vast energy projection. Able to unleash massive blinding solar-based energy blasts and light manipulation. Telepath and mind wiping. He has powerful mental ability. Famously managed to mind wipe the entire planet, include telepaths like Professor X and Reed Richards into forget he ever exists. He got blind, super speed, enhanced senses, capable of flying a million times faster than the speed of light, cross stellar distances in a moment, and hearing a single whisper across the globe. Durability and healing. Unkillable durability. The Sentry is physically durable. Scales to solar system level. Brush off a full strike of 4 hammer Mjolnir and planetary explosion. Absolute regeneration. Even in his physical form, is torn apart, dissolved. He completely reformed his entire body from a single atom. He has flown directly from the sun, burned down to a mere skeleton and instantly regenerate. Who is strong in his universe? Within the Marvel universe, the Sentry operates. He actually is strong as the Hulk and full engaged in World War Hulk. Hulk in physical strength, slugfest, and his void persona has broken Hulk of both endlessly. He outmatched the God of Thunder in physical struggle, and caught the throne Mjolnir strike famously brought down the entire kingdom of Asgard, Ares. In one of the famous fleets of the raw power of this from the Siege storyline, a complete unhinged Sentry physically overpowered the Greek god of war and rip him entirely in half with his bare hands. When you pit him again. Okay, I'm actually not going to read this, so it tried to put him with Superman. Mentally and physically, he in his late teens, age 16 to 19. But, and adult up depending on the storyline. He hails from Earth Prime, a universe meant to represent our actual real world, where superheroes only exist in comic books. Originally named Clark Kent, he lived a normal life until Halley's Comet passed over Earth and triggered his latent kryptonite biology. The twist? During the massive crisis on Infinite Earth's event, his entire home universe was completely erased, driven mad by the isolation of Paradise Dimension. The theory is that the mainstream DC universe dark and ruined. He broke out that he became a toxic, whiny meta villain who believe He the only hero left. Violently, he actually had the solar collector. After losing a portion of his powers, Prime built a suit modeled directly after a matter of a anti-matter. His armor completely feed his cells with simulated yellow sunlight, keeping his power crank up to the maximum capacity, even in the darkness or away from the sunlight. Because he comes from the pre-crisis era reality, Superboy-Prime possesses a scary limitless power from the Silver Age of Kryptonian, completely unhindered by the limit. He got the Kryptonian physically standard Superman powers, like flight, heat vision, freeze breath, super senses, but he scaled the extreme. His speed allowed him to fly fast and break through the speed force barrier until his raw power immune to magic. Unlike Superman, Superboy-Prime is immune to magic because the nature of his home. Magic spells bounce off of him. Kryptonite immunity. Standard green kryptonite has no effect to him because his home universe kryptonite never exploded to create it. Only kryptonite from Earth Prime can weaken him, which is nearly impossible to find. Retcon Punches. Prime strength is so immense that while trapped in a barrier dimension, he literally punches the walls of reality itself. He physically strike where strong to shatter timelines, cause ripples across the DC universe, and resurrect the dead and alter timelines. He actually is Drac full force from a Guardian charged with the anti-monitor survived the explosion from the entire universe Earth 51 and struggle off the combined assault of the Green Lanterns, Superman, and cosmic entities. Superman Prime doesn't just fight street level villains. He regularly bodies a team up with top tier heavy hitters stronger than him. Superman. Modern and post crisis. Prime fought both Main Street Superman and the other Earth 2 Superman at the exact same time. He brutally beat Earth 2 Superman to death, and nearly post-crisis Superman proved that he outclassed the Kryptonite power level. The Green Lantern Corps. During the Infinite Crisis event, Prime tore through the entire army of the Green Lanterns, snapping the construct like a glass and killing a dozen of them with bare hands. The Teen Titans and the Doom Patrol. He single-handedly wiped the floor with almost active teenage hero of the DC Nation during a massive brawl, moving so fast and hitting so hard they barely track him. The Darkest Night, the one who laughs. In the later timeline, a fully unleashed Superboy-Prime fought the godlike universal tier, the Darkest Night, shatter his reality, and nearly defeat the entity that I don't care. Now, both profiles are set, and we know every possibilities. Let's go to this battle royale. The Sentry float down his cape, blowing the vacuum of space. Suddenly, a streak of blind blue and red that tear through the atmosphere, slamming into the ground and force to split content and dust. Superman Prime, sneering and finger. Look at you, another fake Superman, another dark, edgy copycat. You don't belong in the comic book, you freak. This is my story. The Sentry, calm and his eyes glowing, flickering. You're a child throwing a temper tantrum across the universe, Clark. You don't know the darkness you're playing with. Leave now, before the void knows. Prime. The void? I don't care. Your edgy shadow. I threw planets. I fought the Darkest Night. You nothing. Prime launches forward, moving millions of faster than light before the Sentry can blink. Prime first connect his jaw. Shockwaves shatter the planet beneath the instant. Sentry is hurled through the separate solar system. Unleash his Death Star. He stopped himself in deep space, shake his head. Prime is already there, raining a brutal planet, cracking punches. Prime screamed, frightened, die. Why won't you just die? Let the things back to they supposed to be. Prime grab a Sentry arm and the raw, terrifying pre-crisis strength rip the golden Sentry in half. Sentry blood organs cosmic void. Prime laugh hurt Sarah. Ha! Just like Ares, you're a weak copy. But the blood stopped flowing. The golden light flares, and a millisecond Sentry body completely knits itself together with atomic level. His body face is cold. The sky turned pitch black as a massive turn shadow massive behind him. The void take over. The void slash sanctuary cannot destroy what has is already dead, child. Black tentacle erupt from sanctuary and wrap it around Prime, attempted to rip his maracles apart. Prime into experience his own deepest fears. Prime clutch his head as sheer. Get out of my head. You're ruining everything. I hate you. I hate you. Driven to the pure, unadulterated toxic rage. Prime cells overflow with raw universal power. He completely ignores the mental assault as sheer stubbornness. He flexes his arm and shatters the tentacles. Superboy-Prime. I'm Superboy-Prime. I will punch you, your whole universe, until you stop existing. Superboy-Prime pull his fist and channeling the ridiculous narrative warping power of the Silver Age continuum. He launches a Retcon Punch directly at the Sentry's chest. He strikes and does it hit the Sentry's body. It punch through a little fabric of the space-time continuum. The timeline shatters. The concept of the Sentry serum, the memories of Bob Reynolds, the structure of Sentry molecules' existence are violently rewritten by the force of impact. Sentry gas and his absolute regeneration fails because, according to freshly altered reality, he was never broken to begin with. He was simply to cease to be, with a fallen reality and an explosion of light. Sentry fade out of the timeline completely. Superboy wipe his nose and hobbling around alone in ruin. Cosmic Void smiling sarcastically. I told you I would. I'm the real hero. Winner. Superboy-Prime. While Sentry is easily the Marvel powerhouse, Superboy-Prime take the win. Why? When basically the comic. To understand why Prime wins, we join the maximum limit of power on his comic book. Sentry is a god tier hero, but does Prime operate the completely meta? Compressor action versus narrative strength. Honestly, Sentry accent is his manipulation regeneration. He can reform from a single atom, seeing his father with Miracle Man under normal circumstances. You cannot kill. However, Superboy-Prime's strength is his physical strength. It is reality warping strength. Proven if a crisis. He actually have a Retcon Punch that can rewrite the DC history and resurrect dead characters like Jason Todd, an alternate reality. In fact, Sentry manipulate molecules within his universe. Prime Punch, the universe itself, the Retcon Punch doesn't just break a Sentry body, it shatters the timeline that allows Sentry to exist, completely bypass the override his particle to regenerate. His honestly, Sentry is famously known as a million suns that peak, like tearing the magnetic zone apart or weakening Galactic. He is universally treated threat, but Superboy-Prime is the multiversal threat. The comic book proof Prime fought the Darkest Night, the Batman who laughed, powered by the multiversal god level. During the fight, Prime shattered an entire universe and strikes. He possessed the unhindered Silver Age limit of Superman, moving at the speed easy the Speed Force barrier and the basketball. Sentry simply cannot keep with the sheer level of raw destructive output. Immunity to Sentry main hacks. Mainstream Superman is a weakness, but Superman Prime is specifically written to be immune to almost everything. No kryptonite, standard green kryptonite does not work on him because his home universe kryptonite never exploded. Sentry cannot manifest a weakness in mental resistance through rage. Sentry is a telepath and induce fear, but Prime mind is a single-minded, stubborn, childish, overthrow and toxic rage. A telepath can't, like Martian Manhunter, have a struggle to put him down mentally. When Prime panic, he doesn't shut down. He get louder and harder. What make him better than the loser? Sentry ultimate downfall in his comment that his shattered mental state. Bob Ryder is constantly terrified of his own power and the void. If Sentry lose confidence or give in to despair, his durability plummet. How it was able to kill him in the siege when Bob wanted to die. Superboy-Prime was unstable, but the opposite. He has an untouched ego. He completely believes he is the victim and righteous hero. Instead of weakening him, his psychologically breaks cause him to unleash more power. Sentry fights to contain the monster inside him. Superboy-Prime is the monster that he has absolute no problem tearing down the entire comic book page to win. Winner, Superboy-Prime. Join me for the next time. Have a good day. Bye.